Wax dog was good. What's up? You know what it is? Getting my ruck on. It's gonna be a quick live. I gotta pick up my babies, which means I gotta leave here around 11 o'clock. Give me about an hour and a half to play. You know, getting it in, man. Working on building my training program. Making sure I'm in shape enough to lead other people through it.
Hey, how heavy is all your equipment?
50 pounds. I've been wanting to do more videos at the house, but I been doing some side jobs. Well, one big side job. Last week, helping a friend out. So, had to install about 42 plugs, 16 switches, 42 recessed can lights, and I have to install the the sub panel and land the feeders for it. So, got a lot of work. So this past week I've been tied up doing that. Ain't really had time to make any content. But I should be done with that by Wednesday. Then I'll be back on my grizzly. What's up, y'all? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Snapzilla Gorilla. This is the definition of anarchy. Y'all know what it is. I'm doing my stairs with 50 pounds of equipment and whatnot. Getting it in. But, you know, everybody's all in a tizzy about the Supreme Court nominee. So I'm gonna talk about some interesting things in regards to the SCOTUS in general and this new chick that's coming in. So kind of want to wait until some people trickle in. Not too long. So what y'all been up to? Xander, what's good? 1113, what's good, man? Yeah, nice to see y'all in here. Thanks for hitting that like button. If y'all coming in, make sure y'all hit the like button. You haven't gotten past watching these protests. You know, I don't really. You been watching the protests? How's that been going? I haven't really been paying attention to the protests because, to me, they all do the same thing. When you protest, right? When you protest or demonstrate, You're essentially asking your oppressor to stop oppressing you, right? That's what you're doing when you're protesting. Oh, protester, oppressor, can you please stop oppressing me? I would really like that. That's what happens when you protest. And what happens when you, the West, the WS, yeah, no, I heard about the vehicular manslaughters. People getting hit with vans and trucks and cars. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you stand in the middle of the road and people don't realize there's a protest going on and they're afraid you're gonna pull them out of their car and stomp them half to death. And it doesn't matter if it's a right-wing protest or a left-wing protest. It's the mob mentality that makes it all happen. So when you protest, you're trying to appeal to your oppressors and you're asking them to stop oppressing you. And it's not in their interest to stop oppressing you. So protest is not the way to go about it. You know? Yeah, you're letting them know what you have a problem with. You're letting your voice be heard, but that's all they have to do is hear your voice. They don't have to do jack shit about it. Look at Nancy Pelosi, right? Nancy Pelosi. Now, y'all know how I feel about the left-right paradigm. It's all a kabuki theater, dog and pony show, right? But if you were look at it as if it were real, Nancy Pelosi is stalling on the stimulus package because she wants it to be $3.2 trillion or however much she wants it to be. And really what they're trying to do is they're trying to stall out long enough for the election to determine what kind of package they really want to pass, right? Because if the elections are held and, new seats are taken in Congress and the Senate, and if there's a new president, they won't have to even give us a stimulus package. They got another 4 and 2 years in office. They don't really give a shit about what you have to say. How many petitions were written and how many letters were written to the Congress and the Senate about passing the stimulus package? Hundreds. Which one of those bore fruit? None. They're still taking a sweet ass time. That should tell you how they feel about you. That should tell you how they feel about the constituency, right? That's if you believe in a left-right paradigm lie. I don't. They're gonna pass the stimulus package because it's in the best interest of the bankers to pass the stimulus package. Because who do we have to get the money from? The Federal Reserve, right? And what's the Federal Reserve gonna do? They're gonna get their money back with interest, but it's not gonna be fiat currency. They're gonna get it in the form of, every time my wife calls and I get back on YouTube, it starts buffering, so I have to restart the whole damn thing. Anyway, so with the stimulus package, I don't agree with them flooding the market, right, with fake money. It devalues our time and labor and energies, right? We have to work harder and longer to get the things that we normally need, the things that we need, right? Food, water, toilet paper, you know what I'm saying? We'll end up spending way more money on that type of stuff because of this. Our children and our children's children are gonna have to pay all this back. I understand what happens when they do these stimulus packages. It ultimately creates a huge problem, and it just creates more debt. But on the other side of it, people are in need, and it is their money that they would be getting. It's the money they've been putting into the system for all the time they've been working. It's really their money. So if they need it during the time of crisis, and it's not their fault, and the government is responsible for them losing their jobs, losing their businesses, then they do need some form of reparations, right? But anyway, they're dragging their feet. They don't care about the American people. They don't care who's struggling, how many businesses are shut down. They don't care about none of that. But you still have people that have faith in these people, man. These people are held up by the people. These politicians aren't held up by the constituents. They only have as much power as they have. It's because the people allow them to have that power. And, you know, these congressmen, these senators can spit in your face. But if they hold up that left-right paradigm lie, then you're going to love them anyway, right? You're going to love them anyway. Because you don't know what true freedom is. If you knew what true freedom was, you say, fuck these politicians, fuck their laws. We're going to do what we got to do. We're going to do what's best for us, right? Which means if I want to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask. If I don't want to wear a mask, I won't wear a mask. It's not up to them. But they keep passing these executive orders, you know, that these cops are, these pigs, man. These pigs are enforcing unconstitutional laws. And not just because of COVID-19 or Tecate-19, it's because they swore to do that. They swore to uphold the law and the Constitution, which is contradictory, right? And then life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They swore to uphold all that, and you can't do all three. You can't do all three, right? You can't do all three and then still have the right to pursue life and the pursuit of happiness and all that. You can't have it. You can't do that if you're upholding the law, because it interferes with it. You call it la coffee cough? That's funny. Anthony Andrew Seward. Yes, I heard of Trump's platinum plan, and that's an interesting name, right, to use, because what are rappers always talking about? Wearing platinum and shit, right? Where'd he get that? Where'd he get that name from? That's what I want to know. I know I'm focusing on the wrong thing. Well, listen, Trump can have the plan, but he needs to get the money. He needs to get the $500 billion. And in order to get that $500 billion, it needs to go through Congress and the Senate. So right now it's just a pipe dream. That plan, you know, that plan has been in place since he first came into office. It's nothing new. He just hadn't gotten the money for it. So the idea is, you know, the Republicans take over Congress and keep the Senate, then you would expect that would go through, right? If that's what he wants to go through. But let's talk about, I think I got enough of y'all in here. Let's talk about Amy Coney Barrette, right? Who used to work for Scalia. Judge Scalia, the one who passed away. I think he passed away in 2013 or something like that, 14. But yeah, she's new to the scene. She's Trump's pick. She'll be Trump's third pick, Supreme Court Justice pick. She'll be number 3. And what would that bring the ratio to of conservative to liberal judges? Well, 6-3. Right? There'll now be 6 conservative judges and 3 Democratic or 3 liberal judges, right? That's what you would expect. Right? You got Clarence Thomas. You got Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, and now you have her and the two other, I forgot their names, but that's what you got now, right? Well, before you had 5 and 4, right? And what happened when, and this is what no one has mentioned yet, what happened when we had 5 and 4? 5 conservatives and 4 liberals. Well, there were 10 Second Amendment cases that came before them, right? 10 of them. And, you know, people were feeling pretty confident about it because we had, you know, the conservatives had a majority, essentially, the Supreme Court. So when those 10 cases came before them, right, that would decide the fate of basically the Second Amendment, would set precedent for certain issues in regards to the Second Amendment. Very important cases, right? Very important cases, 10 of them came before them. And what did they do? Every Friday for 4 weeks, they kicked the can down the road. They said, no, we're not going to hear this one. Boom, they kicked it down the road 4 different times. You're talking about with judges that are supposed to be pro-Second Amendment. These judges are supposed to be pro-Second Amendment, but every time they got, these 10 cases came in front of them 10 times or 4 times, and they kicked it down the road each time. And then on the 5th time, they just refused to hear it. You're talking about with 2 judges that Trump put in, right? And, you know, the president who swore he would uphold our Second Amendment rights still has yet to do so. As a matter of fact, he stripped the right from us, you know, the bump stock ban, and he supports red flag laws, and he supports, best believe, he'll sign the TAPS Act when that comes through. And y'all need to understand, if the TAPS Act goes in front of his desk and he signs it, that's it. That's it. No amount of protesting, no amount of riots, none of that shit is going to do anything for us. You understand? That will let you know right there. Because it's going to be a wrap after that. If you guys don't know anything about the TAPS Act, y'all need to go look that up and see what that does. Once that is put in place, y'all can kiss it goodbye. Right? So that's what no one's talking about. No one's talking about how we already have 5 conservative judges in the Supreme Court, and they refused to hear 10 Second Amendment cases. Tell me where that makes sense at. Platinum plan to give themselves $500 billion and make us beg. Exactly. See? That platinum plan is really more like copper. It's platinum plated copper. That's what that is. Listen, we had 5 conservative judges in the Supreme Court, and they refused to take up Second Amendment cases. You think it's going to be different with one more judge? Y'all let me know. Do you think that this Amy character is going to ensure that SCOTUS takes up these Second Amendment cases? You know? Will she make the difference? We'll see, right? That's all we need to, that's all y'all should need to know about if Trump becomes president again. If this Amy, if this is the ACB they call her, is really about that life, then if we have six Supreme Court justices that are allegedly for the Second Amendment, then all of our rights to keep and bear arms should be restored. Every single law that infringes on our rights to keep and bear arms should be eradicated. If this Amy is confirmed. And just as a test, there are 2 cases coming out of California that are approaching the Supreme Court. One has to do with the magazine ban, and another has to do with the ammo background check bullshit. All right? Unfortunately, the assault weapons ban, that was one of the 10 cases that refused to hear. So I don't know what they have to go through again to get that back before the Supreme Court. But we got 2 coming. We have 2A cases coming before the Supreme Court. And those should be ruled in our favor, right? They should be deemed unconstitutional, right? If all these, you Trump supporters, if Trump is about that life, and Amy Coney Barrette is about that life, then our Second Amendment rights will be restored, right? Hey, what's up, Black Spring with Autumn? Up in the house. Platinum Plan get themselves $500 billion and make us beg. Yeah, that's what they want you to do. They want you to know that your future is in their hands. You hit the like button. The Platinum Plan is silicone and cucumber shaped. Most def. And it comes with a bottle of KY jelly. Who pays for that? So we're paying essentially for this Platinum Plan that's supposed to benefit black people. We'll see. He needs to get the money for it. By hearing by. Paying for your own upward mobility, yeah. Well, that's what you do anyway, right? When you invest in yourself. Except when they extort us on our paychecks, it doesn't do that. We're investing in a system that oppresses us every day. We invest in a system that strips our rights away every chance they get. Every time they make a law, there goes a right. Every time they make a law, one of our rights disappear, or a multiple of our rights disappear. Yeah, paying for your own reparations. The reparations should be paid by the corporations that have benefited from slavery and still exist today. And there are hundreds of them, billion-dollar companies that have benefited from slavery, including Wells Fargo, Fannie Mae, all these different organizations that are worth billions and trillions of dollars. That's where it should come from, not the people. So that's why I don't understand that argument when people say, oh, you want every white person to pay for your reparations? No, you clown. The reparations were meant to come from the corporations that benefited from slavery. And I don't want to hear any BS about, well, what about white slaves? What about this slave and that slave? Slaves, period. It doesn't matter what color slave you was. If your ancestors were slaves, no matter the color, they deserve reparations from the people that enslaved them. It just so happens in America, it was white on black slavery. That's really what they got a problem with. No, if you were a slave and if your ancestors were a slave in Cairo, if your ancestors were a slave in Europe, then go to Europe and get reparations from them. That's who you get it from. But no, the reparations should come out of the pockets of the corporations that have benefited, not the people. Another argument I heard in regards to the plan is that we should be giving grants to not those other than black folk. Well, yeah, they want to include, like everybody wants to be included in reparations, except when it has to do with the Japanese and the Jews. They don't have to include anybody. But every time black folks try to get something going, everybody else has to be included. It's more, exactly, Black Spring. So, Black Spring, I don't know if you caught it, but I was talking about how Trump is putting in this Amy character in the Supreme Court. But we already have 5 conservative judges in the Supreme Court. Yet, they refuse to hear 10 Second Amendment cases this year. They refuse to hear them. First, they postponed it for 4 weeks. Then they finally said, nah, we ain't gonna hear this one. So, is that gonna change with a 6th conservative judge? Because no one's talking about that. That's the most important part, right? That's the most important thing about getting this judge in there, is to ensure, to me, that everybody's most important concern is if we have our Second Amendment rights restored to the 100th degree. 100% restoration of our Second Amendment rights. That's the only thing that matters coming out of that Supreme Court. That's the only thing in my mind. That's the most important thing. Nothing else should be done. That should be the first action taken. But no, what are they talking about? Roe v. Wade and Obamacare? Who gives a shit? No, yeah, I mean, who gives a shit? Roe v. Wade and Obamacare. That's the only thing they're talking about. Not these 10 Second Amendment cases, not the 2 Second Amendment cases coming out of California soon, but some, listen, those are important as well, but not as important as our rights to keep and bear arms. That is the most important thing to us right now. That should be priority number 1 for these judges. Since they can pick and choose what they want to hear and take up, that should be the most important thing. And now that they have 6 judges, what's holding them back? Because she's going to get confirmed. She's going to get confirmed. It doesn't matter what the Democrats do, because it's a Senate majority, and the Senate confirms. The Senate, I mean, it's a conservative majority in the Senate, and that's who confirms the judge. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. So now the question is, what are they going to do? Take care of the Second Amendment first, right? Take care of the Second Amendment first. Restore the Fourth Amendment, right? What should be happening is this. Priority number 1. Restoring our rights to keep and bear arms. That's priority number 1. Season of Khan will be revealed. What does that mean, Black Spring Water? What's the season of Khan? They gave us Native Indians half of Oklahoma, so we should be next for the honor their word hearing. I'm not holding my breath. Well, you know, many of us have indigenous blood anyway. Many of us have indigenous blood. That's not something they want to talk about, though. They don't want to talk about how we were already here when Columbus showed up. They don't want to talk about that. There's no way they got 100 million slaves over here on ships over the course of 100 years. Didn't happen. They didn't have the capability. You can't do it now in ships across the Atlantic. You can't do it. We're already here. There's already evidence of that. As a matter of fact, now that I have my setup, that's something I'm gonna be focusing on too. I got a lot of work to do, y'all. Anyway, so here's priority number 1: restoring our Second Amendment rights. Or not even our Second Amendment rights, because you know they weren't rights given to us by the Second Amendment. It was just that the Second Amendment recognized those rights and was put in place so that the people in power know that you shall not infringe on our rights. So, our rights to keep and bear arms, that's the first priority. Second priority is the Fourth Amendment. Get rid of civil asset forfeiture, right? Unless a person is convicted, proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have committed a crime and that crime yielded them that money, then you don't get no money. The government should not be seizing anyone's money, right? Civil asset forfeiture, that needs to go bye-bye. The Supreme Court needs to handle that too. Somebody needs to bring that before the Supreme Court, all right? But guess who favors civil asset forfeiture? Your boy Trump. He favors civil asset forfeiture. So Black Spring, if Trump is about that life and Amy Coney Barrette is about that life, they will help make sure that our right to keep and bear arms is secure. And then they need to repeal that stupid ass bump stock law, right, that Trump put in place. They promise of change and the losers is piling on. Yeah. What's up with that bump stock ban? He's pro civil asset forfeiture. He's pro red flag law. All that shit needs to be eradicated. But it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It didn't happen with 5 judges. It's not gonna happen with 6 judges. It's not gonna happen. You understand that? It's not in their best interest to restore our rights to keep and bear arms. Hold on, y'all. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, but that should be priority number 1. Bought the book and I'm enjoying it. Are you close to finishing it? That's what's up, man. Mr. Nelson, 89, purchased my book and he's reading it as we speak. I'm gonna mod you up for that one. Mr. Nelson, 89, that's what's up. So what do you think of it so far? Does it seem like I knew what I was doing? But yeah. Oh, what about Roe v. Wade? Oh, she's gonna repeal Roe v. Wade. Oh, she's gonna repeal Obamacare. So what? So what? Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Yes, sir, it's eye-opening. That's what's up, man. I finished that mug in 2016. Oh, goodness. Man, there's a hypochondriac's nightmare up here. Yeah, Roe v. Wade was a sham. But look at what it allowed Planned Parenthood to do. Look what it allowed Planned Parenthood to do. So who cares? Okay, so they repeal Roe v. Wade and Obamacare. Then y'all will believe that Trump is about that life, if he does that, right? You guys will believe, you Trump supporters out there, you know who you are. You believe that if they repeal Roe v. Wade and Obamacare, you think that will prove that Trump is about that life. But really it won't. See, he's going to give you a little bit to keep your mouth shut. Like all the money that he's giving to HBCUs. Every now and then there'll be 35 children found in kidnapping and sex trafficking ring when there are still hundreds of thousands. You know? Oh, let's give them 35 today, 39 tomorrow. Oh, we'll give them $40 2 months from now. 40 children 2 months from now. 50 children 2 months from that. When they know damn well they can shut all that shit down in one fell swoop. They can make a coordinated synchronized effort to rescue hundreds of children at a time. I believe that.
Good job, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, Trump is every president is going to give you a little bit of something to calm the herd, when ultimately what they want to do is cull the herd. You understand? Don't forget, Trump said that he would send out U.S. troops to distribute the crack scene. Why would he need to do that? I'm ready to use the military might to distribute the crack scene. What's up, man? Don't turn it. That's part of the plan, right? That's part of the plan. Believe in the plan, Q tells you. It's nonsense, y'all. We're gonna wake the hell up. Trump ain't your friend. Biden ain't your friend. Pelosi ain't your friend. Mitch McConnell's not your friend. These people are not. They don't give a shit about you. And I hope Amy gets confirmed. And in a way, I hope that they continue to kick Second Amendment cases down the road so that you guys can see that they ain't about shit. Oh, they'll repeal Roe v. Wade and they'll repeal Obamacare, but they won't repeal assault weapons bans across the country. They won't repeal magazine bans. They won't repeal bump stock bans. They won't repeal red flag laws. They won't do any of that. They'll be working against themselves. They can't do that. What did Black Spring Autumn say? She said, I'm back, y'all. Y'all know what happens. I get closer to the cell tower and start screwing up. Yeah, they called 200,000 already, yeah. And they call it Tecate. There are people. There are people who, speaking of Tecate, what are they going to do about that in the Supreme Court? What lawyer is going to fight these unconstitutional government edicts, these executive orders from the governor telling you have to shut this down, wear this mask, do this, do that, to contain the spread, or to slow the spread, or to flatten the curve. All that shit's unconstitutional, right? But when you look at it, they only can do this because of the Model State Health Emergency Powers Act. The reason that they have the ability, executive orders, to mandate mask wearing, to mandate staying home orders, to mandate mandatory testing, to mandate crack scene takeage. The only reason that they have that perceived ability is because of the Model State Health Emergency Powers Act. And so the question is, are they going to repeal that? Is the SCOTUS, if somebody sues the government for implementing the Model State Health Emergency Powers Act and it goes to the Supreme Court, are they going to repeal it? Are they going to shoot it down and say it's unconstitutional? These are the things we need to be asking ourselves to see if this system really works. All that other shit, I'm not saying, look, I don't agree with abortion, okay? And because of Roe v. Wade, New York has the ability to tell people that they can kill a child outside the womb or at full term. You understand? They can kill that baby, and when it comes out of the womb, after it's born, or as soon as 10 months, and that's only possible because of the Roe v. Wade. Yes, that needs to be implemented. That needs to be eradicated as well. But you can't talk about that without talking about our rights to keep and bear arms. You can't talk about that without talking about our rights to privacy. All right, to be secure in our person, papers, houses, and effects. You can't talk about that without talking about the Model State Health Emergency Powers Act, which forces people to wear masks, the masks that are killing them, breathing in their own CO2, breathing in these fibers, right? And YouTube, the algorithm's probably gonna pick that up and shut this live down. But I don't give a shit right now, because all I'm gonna do later is I'm gonna do a presentation that's a little more polished, a little bit more careful in what I say, and we're gonna go that route. But what I'm saying is, we're not talking about the most important thing. I don't know if y'all remember all the confusion around Gorsuch and his stance on the Second Amendment. You know, people really didn't know where he stood, right? Because he's ruled on cases in regards to the Second Amendment not so favorably for freedom lovers. But Trump put him there in the first place. This cat, he didn't really even know was for the Second Amendment or not. We applaud it because Trump did it. But Gorsuch didn't do shit to restore our rights to keep and bear arms. Not keep and bear arms. The only dissenting voice, mostly, the only person who ever really dissents, the only judge that dissents in the Supreme Court when it comes to the Second Amendment and how they just completely ignore it, how they completely ignore these cases is, what's his name? I forgot. Shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He had the scandal back in the day. What's his name, black dude? What's that black judge's name? I mentioned him earlier. He's the only one who dissents when the Supreme Court sits on their ass. It doesn't do their job. What's his name? Not Johnny Cochran. It's a black dude. Fuck. Forgot his name, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The Supreme Court judge, the black one that had the scandal. Clarence Thomas, yes. Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas is the only cat in the Supreme Court who consistently dissents when the Supreme Court drops the ball on the Second Amendment. He's the only one. Is he genuine when he does it? I don't know. But all I know is he's consistent in his dissension. He's consistent. And if he is real, it must be frustrating for him, because I'll be shit. Oh man, I would pull my hairs out. Like, what's wrong with you people? The Second Amendment cases are the most important. These decisions will shape the country, but they don't want to make a decision on it. Man, y'all don't understand how frustrated I am about this, man. I don't give a shit about this Amy character until she proves something. And guess what? She's 48 years old. She's very young. So what does that mean? If she gets in there and we have a 6-3 panel, right? We have a 6-3 panel in favor of the, and they still don't do shit to restore our rights to keep and bear arms. She's in there for potentially another 40 years. Another 40 years, potentially, she can be in there, not restoring our rights, continuing to infringe on our rights, continuing to allow these politicians to strip our rights away, one law at a time. So why should we even give a shit about the SCOTUS? We shouldn't. This is my point. It doesn't matter who they have in SCOTUS. It's still going to go in the way of the banker. It's still going to go on the way of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is untouchable. What did Alan Greenspan say about laws? What did he say about what a politician might think about how the Federal Reserve is ran? He don't give a shit. He don't give a shit who makes the laws and how they're made, as long as they don't screw with the Federal Reserve. They're untouchable. That should show you who's really in charge. The Federal Reserve Bank and all of its little subsidiaries, right? The fucking Rockefellers and I forgot all the names. Fuck, I'm delirious right now. The point is, we need to stop acting like all these paper tigers they throw in front of us can stop us from being free. They can't. It's a paper tiger, y'all. These laws, they can't uphold these laws without the law enforcers, right? They can't uphold the law without the law enforcers. And who do law enforcers report to? The politicians, right? They don't report to us. We pay their salary. We pay for their lawsuits when they get sued and pay settlements. We have to pay for that. But they don't answer to us. So if you don't recognize that, then you're slow. Yes, Rothschild. Yes, the Rothschild. Matter of fact, the Rothschild Bank bailed out Donald Trump. Remember that? And the guy that helped him get bailed out, who worked for the Rothschild banking system, is now the freaking Commerce Secretary. I forgot his name. You know his name is, Black Spring? The Commerce Secretary that bailed Trump out back in the day. What are we not seeing here? Y'all recognize that, right? The cat he appointed as Commerce Secretary is the same cat that bailed him out when he was working for the Rothschild Bank. Oh, I forgot his name. I'm too... See, when you do a Ruckin' Live and you try to come with that information, you know, if you don't have it right in front of you written down and shit, oh, man. That's why sometimes when I do this, my printouts. But, yeah, Powell. Yeah. See, Black Spring, you know. Powell bailed out Trump. So you don't think that he owes him something? Not you particularly, Black Spring, but all these diehard Trump supporters. You think that means nothing? That Trump was bailed out? Come on, man. Yes. Bankruptcy is common practice. The common practice of billionaires and millionaires, right? It's common practice. It's to shield them from personal responsibility. I get that. So it's not really a thing to me that he filed bankruptcy a bunch of times. But the thing is, when he gets bailed out by the Rothschilds, and we know what the Rothschilds are about, we know that they're tied in with the Federal Reserve. How can y'all trust Trump? The Trump supporters. How can y'all trust? I don't even know how many laps I did, y'all. Here I go again. Missing my count. Well, this is my last one because I got to go get my babies. I'm going to go the long way. How can we sit up here and continue to support Trump when we have this knowledge? Oh, he gave money to black HBCUs. Oh, well, you know, he black unemployment, the greatest financial boom in American history. If that's the case, then why, as soon as this Tecate-19 thing started, as soon as it started here in America, as soon as they started doing the lockdowns, they started doing quantitative easing. Huh? Why did Trump, if we had such a strong economy that wasn't held up under false pretenses in a bubble, then why, as soon as this lockdown shit started, he called for quantitative easing. Huh? Oh, let's just start printing money right away. Because he knew that the economy was not strong enough to hold up if we start shutting down the economy. We had no backing. You know those beach houses that sit on stilts? That's what our economy is. It's a beautiful house. It's a beautiful house, right? And it's sitting over a bluff. It's overlooking the ocean. You can see the sunset every day. But it's on stilts. And the stilts itself may be strong, but the foundation, the pier, what they call the cement blocks that the stilts sit in, the pier is weak and it's crumbling. That's what the economy was right before the COVID-19 happened. And if you ask me, they needed the COVID-19 to come through to provide the false cause of the collapsing economy. That's my position. They have doubled down emphasis on vaccine. Of course they have. You see, everything comes with a price, right? Black Spring, the definition of anarchy, the Apostle Paul in the Bible killed Christians and changed. Trump may have done some not so good stuff. What's he doing now overall? Tamiko Anderson, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked what he's doing. Because that's Americans. Oh, we need an appeasement plan. See, platinum is a euphemism for appeasement, okay? Giving money to HBCUs, that's just, they have to pay for that. And how do they have to pay for it? You saw, I did a story, right? Where I talked about, I think it was my first live presentation at home. My new setup. 2 HBCU presidents are urging their students to participate in crack scene trials for the COVID-19. You understand? And how they're urging black people to participate because they need 10 to 15% participation. They need black people to be 10, 15% participation in these trials. Y'all, pardon me. Working and talking at the same time, it kind of has me speaking gibberish sometimes. And then, so like now, Black Spring said that the HBCUs are doubling down on urging students to participate in crack scene trials. Those HBCUs that he gave all that money to, right? Oh, here's permanent money. HBCUs, even though it still has to be renewed. They didn't tell you that. They told you it's permanent, but it still has to be renewed after so many years. Nothing's permanent, all right? But what do you think that is? That is, these presidents of these HBCUs that just took this money from Trump, you don't think they're being incentivized by having black students participate in the crack scene trials? Come on, man. Everything has a price. The extensive funding recs of eugenics and more depopulation. Exactly. Black Spring, you on point. And you know what, Black Spring? What's funny is, I see you, every time I hear you talking, more and more, you're sounding more and more like a voluntarist. You're sounding more and more like an anarchist. And I love it. So, just a few more, you just need a few more nudges to come on to the right side and take your clear pill. I call it the clear pill when you become an anarchistic voluntarist. You have taken the clear, it's the pill of clarity. It's the pill of freedom. Not that red pill or that blue pill that contains red dye number 40 and blue lake number 50. Now, you don't want that red dye number 40 and blue lake 50 in your pills. Those are cancer causing. No, you want that clear pill. You want that mineral rich saline pill. The funding, specifically Sci Sciences. Black Spring, I love you. See that shit? And you know what? I can take what Black Spring says, I can take that for what it is. Because she does extensive research, and she always has sources, and she always has evidence. So Black Spring, I salute you for that. Do you mind sending me some information via email in regards to that stuff? See, this is something we can talk about on a live together. I want to do a live with Black Spring. We can talk about that. There's exactly nothing is for free. So, yeah, here, by hearing and hearing by, when you take that clear pill, that's what it's all about. When you take the clear pill, everything becomes, you see things for what it is. The grass is greener, the sun is shinier, the sky is bluer, because you don't have a red film or a blue film distorting your vision. So, I want to answer Tamiko Anderson's question. What has Trump been doing? What is he doing now? Well, he supports red flag laws. He is for civil asset forfeiture. Okay? He supports forced vaccine injections. Like he said, he's going to have the military distribute the vaccine. That's not good. That's not their job. I was a soldier, right? It's not my job to administer or distribute vaccines to humans, to civilians. No. What do we know about, and how is he going to do it? Good. What is he going to do? What is the military going to do to ensure that these vaccines are distributed? That's what he's doing now. What else is he doing now? Yeah. That's all I really need to know about. He wants people to take the vaccine. He's telling you the wearing mask is patriotic now. You understand? Now he's wearing a mask, where before he didn't. Well, he's a hypocrite. He's a liar, right? He's a banker bought puppet. He got bailed out by the Rothschild. What do I think of Bear's black children? I mean, the same thing I think about Brad and Angelina Jolie's black children. The same thing I think about Charlize Theron's black children. Same thing I think about them. Why? Why black children? Not to say that, it should matter. But why? And Haitian? That makes me wonder what ties she might have with the Clintons, right? Because what did the Clintons go over there in Haiti and do? Oh, they raped Haiti. All that funding for Haiti that the Clintons built up, they stole it from them. They stole it from the Haitians. Haiti is a hot trail, right? Keep Bono, who benefits? Who benefits by this chick being in the Supreme Court? I would like to know what her ties were to the Clintons. You know what? Thank you, J. Person. Now you got me curious about if Amy Coney Barrette has any relations whatsoever, anything to do with the Clintons. That's what I want to know. Oh yeah, thank you, man. You have sparked some interest in me. Now my interest is piqued. Yeah, black Haitian children. Same thing I think about Charlize Theron and her black child, who her black adoptee, right? The one who told her when he was 2 years old, oh, I'm a girl. And then from that point on, she decided to dress him up as a girl, call them a girl name and all this other shit. Encourage that bullshit. So I don't know what Amy Coney Barrette, I don't know what she's doing with those children. I don't know. She might be raising them right. She might be real good to those children. I have no idea. I have no idea. I do know that Black Haitian children they are very disenfranchised. They're some of the most oppressed and depressed people in the world. Haiti has been, ever since the Haitian Revolution, they've been treated like dog shit because no country has ever been able to control them. And what happens when these elites can't control the country? Oh, they abandon it. They treat it like shit. They do embargoes like they did with Cuba. Man, as a matter of fact, your boy who bought my book and read it and loves it. Look, y'all need to go get my book. It's very well written. It's a great story. And the Seeds of Dark Matter Disease on Amazon right now. It's a really good book. But it features a Haitian woman. There's a Haitian woman. One of the main characters in my book is a Haitian woman. Okay, and she talks a little bit about what went on in Haiti when she was a child. So Haiti's real near and dear to my heart. The story of Haiti is hit home to me. So I have included Haiti in my writings since 2000 and when did I write my first book? The first book, not the first book I published, the first book I wrote that I completed. I think that was back in 2010 or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of Haitian influence in there because I know a lot about Haiti. I know the history of Haiti and how Haiti is like the bastard child of the world, man. They're the stepchild of the world. And everybody treats them like shit. No one has any good, no one cares about Haiti. They just exploit it. And there's really nothing to exploit in Haiti, right? There's not really a lot of natural resources that are worth anything. It's just the people. The people of Haiti. They love, I don't know what it is about Haiti, man. I don't know what it is about these people in Haiti. But these people love to fuck with Haiti, man. Haiti gets fucked with more than any other country. Like just like treat like double dog shit. Right? Really, they should be getting more aid from us than Israel. You hear me? Yeah, I said it. Haiti should be getting a lot more aid from the U.S. than Israel. I can't do it right now, Tamiko. But one of my moderators, if y'all can kindly go into Amazon, grab the link for the Seeds of Dark Matter and put it in the in the comment section. Put it in the chat, please. If you would so kindly. Put my the Seeds of Dark Matter Disease, look it up on Amazon and link it in the description in the chat. It's really like I'm really proud of that book. It's called The Seeds of Dark Matter, 1113. Appreciate the determinations. Listen, I don't know where Nelson went, but everybody who's read my book has really enjoyed it. I'm not lying about that. You know, they really enjoyed it. There was a lot that they learned from it because there's a lot to do with survival, right? Like what to do in a shit to hit the fan situation. And that book is about a shit hit the fan situation and how a certain survivalist, you would call him, how he reacted to it and how he got down. The main character is what you would consider a prepper. So he gives a lot of good information about what you need to do to prepare for a shit hit the fan situation. So that's good, and there's a good story in there. But yeah, don't worry, y'all. I still got to get on Candace Owens because I really, I'm so tired of that broad. I'm sorry to call her name like that, but I'm so tired of her. Like everybody thinks she's just so intelligent and Like she's just the best thing since sliced bread. But really, she's just she's like one of the. She is so divisive. She's one of the most divisive people in the world. You know, you have these people, especially a lot of these black conservatives. They'll tell you, "Oh, you're race baiting. You're race baiting this. You're race baiting that." But they're so quick to bring up race. Every time something happens, they don't want you to bring up race, but they want to bring up race when it suits them. They're such hypocrites. Hold on, guys. Candace Owens is the hypocrite of all hypocrites. And I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take a little pause to let y'all know y'all should go get my book. Let me see. Candace just wants to be famous. You know, black people are the Democratic Party. Look at the numbers. Thank you, Black Spring, for posting that. Rodney Morrison. Of course, Trump don't listen. Don't like. Care. I don't think it's a scam, Jay. I don't think it's a scam at all. I think it's real. I think the platinum plan. I think they want to implement that platinum plan. That platinum appeasement plan. Of course he would. Of course they do. They have to show some real shit going on. Yeah, thank you. Hit that like button. Son had said on Candace Owens. I think that it never rose for her. She's just hype. They hype her up because she talks fast. She's a real fast talker, and she has the ability to cut people off when they're saying something. That's not to me. That's not a good argument. When you just have the when you can just talk fast and your mouth is like you have a sharp tongue mouth, so you have the ability to cut people off, and even you may not be saying anything of substance. You just know how to talk fast and draw attention to yourself when you talk. That doesn't make you a good debater. It doesn't mean that your arguments are good. It just means that you're louder than everybody else. And that's what I think of Candace Owens. She doesn't really have any substance to say or anything original. She has no original thoughts in her mind. The platinum plan would probably turn Trump from one of the worst to best presidents ever. You would think. Hold on, I gotta stretch a little bit. Uh, Hold on, guys. I have to. What's up, y'all? Damn it. Damn shirt. Yeah, it was my wife again. My wife FaceTimed me again. So I had to reboot the live or restart the live because for some reason after I get done with FaceTime, it screws up my live. So anyway, so I was talking about Candace Owens, man. And you know, every time something happens significant that has to do with black people, here she comes with her nonsense rhetoric. Okay. Now, what in this latest one with in regards to the Breonna Taylor situation, she really had a lot to say. Just like all her little cohorts, like Anthony Brian Logan and Brandon Tatum. And they had a lot to say about Breonna Taylor. This is the thing. If you're going to shit on somebody like Breonna Taylor, who was just killed by the police, then why sit up there and say, oh, you know, she didn't deserve to die. Oh, well, you know, oh, she shouldn't have died like that. It was very sad and tragic, blah, blah, blah. And then you turn around and say, well, she was mixed up in this, that, and the third. She was doing this, she was doing that. It's what are you bothering with all the niceties for in the first place? That should show you how fake people like Candace Owens and them is. They're fake. They didn't give a shit about Breonna Taylor. They actually love when shit like this happens. It gets them so many views and so much notoriety. It gets them more followers. Like, it's cases like this that have boosted people like Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum has over a million subscribers on YouTube now. It took him, first he had like 400 and something, and then some shit happened. Something happened that made him have to make a decision on whose side he was going to be on. All right. And then he gained over 500,000 subscribers based on that. You know why? Because they firmly hold up the left-right paradigm lie. I mean, they do it like no other. ABL almost has 800,000 subscribers now. He's close to 1 million. Where before he went on Brandon Tatum's panel, he had like 400 and some change. Okay, now he has almost 800,000 subscribers. Why? Because he firmly holds up the left-right paradigm lie. And if you do that, YouTube will reward you. Facebook will reward you. Instagram will reward you. Even though these people like to tell you, oh, they're censoring the right. They're doing this to the right. No, it's all part of the game. I mean, Brandon Tatum's channel still exists. ABL's channel, for all that I know, has never been removed. He has never been censored. These people, they're not getting censored like that. Yeah, they got rid of Alex Jones. Alex Jones got removed, and you know, David Icke and all these people. But you know, it's just wild. What these people recognize what gets them the biggest boost, okay? And Candace Owens is no different. She is no different. She'll say the wildest shit out of her mouth. And she knows that it's not going to do anything but boost her notoriety, her infamy, or her famousness. Ryan Archery, what's up, man? Oh yeah, you guys, this is Ryan Archery. Yeah, he sent me an email with a picture of his peak eye, man. This shit was crazy. How's that going? Do you still have the pink eye going on? Do you have any symptoms or what? Political entertainment. Yeah. The wise one was good. Look at me doing this shit while I'm driving. So anyway, this is the thing with Candace Owens, man. She came up, you're all clear? Good. Candace Owens, she came out and talked about Breonna Taylor like she was like, first she said the drug ring that her boyfriend was involved in, she was at the center of it. Like she's some type of queen pin. She's trying to make it look like Breonna Taylor was the queen pin of that ring, right? She said, "Oh, she was at the center of all the drug deals and all this, that, and the third." But then later on, she acknowledges that her ex-boyfriend was actually at the center of it. So which one is it? Is he at the center, or is she at the center? Right? And you know, she'll tell you little things like, "Oh yeah, well, a neighbor came out and recognized it was the police, blah blah blah." That knocked on her door, knocked on Breonna Taylor's door, right? But 11 other neighbors said that they did not hear that. But because that one neighbor said they heard it, well now Candace Owens is going to run with that, right? She's going to run with that. Because that's all she needs. She's cherry picking. Okay? So then she says that, but this is the reality of it. Just because that one person heard it doesn't mean that Jamarcus heard it, right? Or not Jamarcus, Kenneth Walker. Doesn't mean Kenneth Walker heard the police say that. He heard knocking, then he heard loud banging at his door. He said he didn't hear them announce themselves as police officers. So he started shooting because someone was trying to break in his door. What you gonna wait? You gonna wait till they bust in and start pointing guns at you? No, man. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to do a video going over certain details of the Breonna Taylor case. I'm still gonna do that, but like I said, I got held up by this little side job I'm doing, helping somebody out. Anyway, so they do that. So she says that, but like, just because that neighborhood doesn't mean that Breonna Taylor or Kenneth Walker heard that shit, right? And then she sits up here and tells people the police had a right to bust up into their door, to bust up into their private house, on their private property. She said that out of her own goddamn mouth. Oh, they had a right to enter her property with a no-knock warrant. Let me tell y'all something. Just because a judge signs a warrant that says that you can do something to someone else doesn't mean that you actually have the right to do that. And that's what people are missing, because they're so caught up, oh, the law this, the law that. The law says I need to do this. Oh, the law says you need to do that. Well, there's a lot of things that the law says that isn't right, right? Slavery was once lawful, right? Just because a law is written by a man doesn't mean that that's what should be done. That doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do. So just because the judge said that you can break into her house, that doesn't mean that you actually have that right. You don't have the right. Just because, oh, well, she's been receiving packages at her house. First, number one, they tried to get a postmaster or a postal worker to say that Breonna Taylor was receiving packages on behalf of the drug dealer, right? But Candace Owens and Breonna Taylor, they're not going to mention this. They tried to get the postal worker to say, oh yeah, she was accepting packages for Jamarcus, right? That's a drug dealer guy. But he said that he's not aware of any such thing happening. Right? And then, not to mention, there's some discrepancies in regards to, they tried to say that Jamarcus's warrant was served at the same time as Breonna Taylor's. Right? At the same time, but really, it wasn't at the same time. They had changed the time on they changed the time on the warrant or whatever, or on the report. I'll show y'all that. A lot of funny things happening with this case. Okay, not to mention, you're talking about plainclothes detectives that are executing a no-knock warrant. No-knock warrants are typically executed by SWAT teams. SWAT teams who have the tactical know-how that operate a little bit better in regards to that. You understand? So that is, it's not usually plainclothes detectives executing no-knock warrants like that. There's a whole system, there's a whole little protocol you got to go through, typically. All right? They're not going to talk about that. They're just going to tell you, oh, well, you know, there was a car rental that Breonna Taylor had that was used in the execution of a murder. Okay? Well, why wasn't, if Breonna Taylor had any knowledge of that murder, why would they not arrest her for that murder? Why would she got fired from her job, right? Apparently, because of that situation, right? But why wasn't she arrested? Maybe because she wasn't responsible for that murder. So what does that have to do with that night in question? What does that have to do with anything? How is that relevant? Also, oh, well, you know, she was doing this, she was picking up this package and going over to the house and this, that, and the third. Listen, man. Listen. When they executed, when they went to get that warrant, right? It was understood that Breonna Taylor's house was a soft target, meaning they weren't expecting any type of violence or problems because she was a soft target, meaning that she was insignificant in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of that whole drug ring, she was insignificant. That's why she was a soft target. So if that's the case, they usually use no-knock warrants for high-value targets, right? Targets where you have a high chance of return fire and all that stuff. So you need the element of surprise to hem them up real quick. So if she was a soft target with little to no trouble being expected from her, why execute a no-knock warrant on her house with plainclothes detectives? 3 of them. 3 people executing a no-knock warrant on a soft target. Why not just pick her up during the daytime as she's going about her day? Oh, hey, Breonna Taylor, we need to talk to you for a minute. Oh, how can I help you? What you want? Oh, we got to take you down to the precinct. But first, we got to go to your house. We have a warrant to search your house. Boom. You go to her house, you search her house, nothing's there. So then you take her in for questioning. If she's a low-value target, who you're not a soft target, where you're not expecting much trouble or much information, because remember, Breonna Taylor had not had very much contact with Jamarcus, the drug dealer, in about a year or about a year and a half. That's what the lawyer said. They had a couple conversations while he was locked up the year before or something like that. But other than that, like they were trying to say she was running his drug ring while he was in jail. But where's the proof of that? Oh, you had a recorded conversation. Where's that at? See, this is what Candace Owens said. Candace Owens said that there's a recorded conversation. If anybody can find that recorded conversation, please let me know. Where they're acting like Breonna Taylor's running the drug ring while he's in prison. Okay? All right, I would love to hear that one. But never mind all that. How is it a crime to sell drugs to someone who wants to buy the drugs? Tell me where the crime is in that. How is a mutual transaction between two parties where no one's using force or violence against the other? How is that a crime? If I want to sell you a vial of crack and you want to buy it, how is that a crime? It's illegal, but how is it a crime? I just sold you some crack. You wanted the crack, I gave you the crack. Boom. You gave me money, I gave you crack. Who was harmed? Who was harmed in that situation? Now, it's up to the crack addict. If the crack addict starts doing stupid shit in the name of crack and starts robbing people because he needs the money to buy more crack, then how is that the drug dealer's fault? How is that the drug dealer's fault? So how is the drug dealer responsible for the drug addict doing stupid shit in the name of crack? Now, if you sell someone tainted crack, or if you step on the crack chemically to where you know is going to cause problems to that individual, then guess what? Now you have committed a crime because you gave somebody some toe up shit. Bye. Who's that bye to? Unsub. I'm trying to justify selling crack. I shouldn't have to justify it. What you talking about? First of all, that's just an example, right? Did you know crack wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the CIA? If it wasn't for the CIA, crack wouldn't exist. If it wasn't for the war on drugs, crack would not exist, right? Crack would not exist. Yeah, bye, peace. Learn about drugs. I know about drugs. We talking about. I grew up in Compton. I know people who are addicted to drugs. I know what it does to people. So look, anyway, if it wasn't for the CIA and the war on drugs, crack would not exist. You understand what I'm saying? The CIA was responsible for helping crack come online in black neighborhoods. Now, crack is the cheapened version of cocaine. They step on the cocaine because it's so illegal, and because there's a war on drugs. There's certain little ways that the CIA had to go about getting drugs into this country. You understand? And so they had to stretch out the drugs, and they needed people to buy the drugs because guess what? Because of the illegalization of the drugs, the pure drugs became more expensive. So now you can't get pure cocaine for cheap. So certain people couldn't buy pure cocaine, right? And they needed to get it into the black neighborhood. So guess what? They had to step on the cocaine to make it stretch, to make it spread out, to make it last longer, so you can sell more of it to more people. So they'll cut it with chemicals. And what ended up happening is you end up with crack. You end up with crack. That's how crack came about. Now, crack will fuck you up way more than the cocaine would. But the cocaine was for the movie stars. The cocaine was for the lawyers. The cocaine were for the white collar cats downtown, right? That's who the cocaine was for. The crack was for the niggas in the hood. You understand what I'm saying? So don't sit up here and tell me that I'm justifying crack. No, your CIA, your government's justified crack, homie. That's who justified it. Miss me with that bullshit. So if it wasn't for government, illegalizing drugs, you wouldn't get the fucked up drugs you got now. You get better drugs, right? That wouldn't be so, that wouldn't fuck your mind up so much. No, you get the facts. I thought you were out here. You know, I don't allow my my subs won't delete your comments or anything. So you can stay and say what you want. But you said you were going. So I'm just wondering why you're still here. You understand? Yes. It's because drugs are illegal that crack came about. Crack is here because drugs are illegal. If drugs were not illegal, then if drugs were decriminalized, you would not get all the stepped on bullshit you get. You wouldn't get the freebasing. You wouldn't get all the fucked up drugs, right? Because these drug dealers have to be clever about how they distribute the drugs. Because what you're doing is, when you legalize something, you create a black market for it. And when you go to the black market, you're going to get lesser shit. There's always going to be somebody that's going to supply the drugs, whether it's illegal or not. It just so happens that if it's decriminalized, then you free up more people to participate in it and make sure that you're selling good shit. That's just what it is. What happened with the prohibition of alcohol? You had a lot of shady distilleries. You had this person making an alcohol. You had that person making alcohol out of his bathtub, contaminating the shit, getting all this fucked up liquor, right? But people were still getting liquor by the boatloads. You didn't stop the sale of alcohol and the consumption of alcohol when you created the alcohol prohibition. Just like when you legalize drugs, it doesn't stop people from taking the drugs. They're still going to get the drugs from somewhere. Just like when you legalize, when you criminalize firearms, right? When you ban firearms, people can still go out and buy these firearms. They still exist out in the world. You're just creating a bigger black market for it, where you get all these problems. You understand? You get the criminals. The drug dealers become criminals because the drug is illegal now. So they have to stop snitches from snitching. They have to do this. They have to compete with other drug dealers on the low, and they start killing each other because there's no room on this corner for this cat and this cat at the same time. No, we got to beat each other out in the war. Because we can't just open up a storefront and sell the drugs, or we can't just have people come to our house and buy the drugs. No, we got to compete. We got to start killing each other. This is what happens when you criminalize drug usage. You're telling someone what they can and can't do with their own body. Oh no, you can't buy you can't buy that drug and put that in your body. Who are you to say that? Oh, you can't buy this. You know, in some states it's still illegal to consume weed, to take weed and all that shit. You get 5 years minimum sentence, 20 years for marijuana. But people are still doing marijuana. You're not stopping anybody. What do y'all think this is? You think that if you think criminalizing drugs stops people from using the drugs? When were you born? That's what I want to know. No, if you decriminalize the drugs, then you will lower the crime rate. What do you think happened when they ended the alcohol prohibition? And why do you think they did end the alcohol prohibition? Because it wasn't working. It was creating a lot more violence and a lot more corruption within politics itself. Are you kidding me? The alcohol prohibition is a perfect example of why you should not why you should not criminalize drugs. It's a perfect example of why the war on drugs does not work. The war on drugs, it does. How long has this war been going on? What a clown. the hearing now. The government backed pills mills. Yeah. I mean, they already are legal. They're legal drugs. They're legal drug dealers. The pharmacist. Your doctor. Those are drug dealers. Those are drug dealers right there. You know, legal drugs. When you, just by people taking the legal drugs like they're told to take them, kill 76,000 people a year. People were going blind off bad wine. Yeah. I mean, come on. Man, it's crazy. So that's number one. Like, Candace Owens was involved in the drug gang. Okay. What does that have to do with 3 thugs busting down her door, or trying to bust down her door to do what? In the middle of the night. That doesn't give you the right. If I'm selling drugs to someone who wants to buy the drugs, that doesn't give you the right to kidnap me. You understand what I'm saying? Kenneth Walker shot first because he had a right to. People were trying to bust in there and do God knows what. So he defended himself, and you know, there's also the assertion or the assumption that he used Breonna Taylor as a human shield. That's what these people are pushing now. Oh, Kenneth Walker shot at the popo and then threw Breonna Taylor in front of him as she took 6 or 7 bullets, trying to say that he used her as a human shield. Where did they get this information from? This is the narrative they're putting out there. How can they prove that he actually tried to do that? They can't. They're just saying that to make it look weird. You know what I mean? They want to blame Kenneth Walker for everything. You're not a felon. They need the title. Yeah. You inhaled that water. That's funny. I know it's just a term. Shoot first, ask questions later. I'm disappointed he only got off 1 shot. Yeah. They tried to say that he used her as a human shield, man. They don't know that. They weren't there. It's just, it supports their narrative. Okay. So what if Breonna Taylor actually fired the shot and they returned fire and he didn't get to her fast enough, whatever the case may be? I could push that narrative, even though I have no proof of that. I could say, no, what had happened was Breonna Taylor actually shot at the cops, and that's why she was shot and not Kenneth Walker. I could say that, but it wouldn't be true because I have no fucking idea. Just like they don't know that he threw her in front of her and used her as a human shield. They don't know that. They're just saying that shit because it makes their narrative, you know, whatever. So, you know, Candace Owens, man, and of course, you know, she had some shit to say about the nominee of the SCOTUS. Yeah. I mean, you know, y'all know where I stand. There is no good cop, bad cop. There's a bad cop and then a different cop. You wonder why we don't trust? Yeah. I mean, so Candace Owens, man, like, she's just, I don't know what it is about her, man. You know, but these people love her. Well, you know, every chance these people get, they shit on black people. They shit on their own people. ABL did a video once, a couple days ago, and he was just going in on black people, man. And I think he was talking about, who was he talking about? They already threw her away, right? They didn't let her come talk at the White House for the whatever shit last time, and she tried to say that she had turned it down, but whatever. No, oh, ABL was talking about how some college was trying to discriminate against white and Asians getting in and all this other shit, and how he just went in on the stereotypes, man. Talking about how black people, this is what he said. He said that black people, no, he said white and Asian students, right? And growing up in high school, you know, from early age, you have to start preparing your children for success in college and all this other shit, or success in life. And how, you know, oh, he was talking about how, you know, black people aren't being hired in certain positions in the corporate world, right? Something to do with that. And he said that that's because we don't prepare our children from a young age to be successful. So he's saying that from young school age, blacks and Asians, their students or their children will do homework at home for like 3 or 4 hours, right? And then he said black kids only work on their schoolwork for about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes at home. And that's why black people aren't in the upper echelons in certain corporations, because we only study 20 to 30 minutes as a kid a day, whereas Asians and whites study for 3, 4, 5 hours. I was like, whoa. Did he really just make a blanket? Like, and then he showed like a source or something where he got this information. Look, you can go anywhere on the internet and find a study or some research shit that can make you, that can say what you wanted to say. Okay? He said black children only study at home 20 to 30 minutes a day, their schoolwork, whereas Asians and whites do it for 2 or 3, 4, 5 hours. I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid and all the homies, when I was growing up, damn near every black kid I knew was doing homework for 3, 4, 5 hours every day. Every day for school. Aside from the internet can make school irrelevant, yet we're still practicing archaic methods. Not everyone learns the same. Yeah. As hard as me and my wife work. Man, that's what I'm saying. Like, my kids are homeschooled, so they spend a few hours a day doing their homeschooling shit. But my nieces and my nephews, damn near every black kid I know does homework and studies for hours, not 20 to 30 minutes. You see, what? Like, I have no hope. I have no hope for ABL anymore. After you said that, it's just like, okay, man, you're gone. You're done. Where is he getting this information? And this is what he's spewing to his audience. So now his audience can run around and look at black people like, oh, y'all don't even study for more than 20 minutes. Dude, what kind of bullshit is that? You can't even, what? Even in some of the worst schools in black neighborhoods, you cannot get away with even passing any grades in those schools with 30 minutes of schoolwork a day. Yo, that tells you a lot about that man. I don't know, man. I don't know, y'all. But I'm going to end this stream, you guys. I'm in this stream, and I'm gonna get right back on it. Maybe Wednesday I'll do another presentation, another live presentation. I got a lot of things that I got set up. I might do a couple videos in between that, little short videos, just to show you guys a couple things. But I'm gonna get back on my live presentations on Wednesday. I might do a rucking live on Tuesday. We'll see how early I get up. Thanks, man. Thanks, Rodney. I am the American. What's probably true? Peace, homie. I don't get notifications, but I'll try it. You know, a lot of people don't get notifications. I am the American. What I said? Yeah. I mean, since I've been growing up, since I've been a kid, me and everybody I knew that was going to school was spending more than 20 minutes on schoolwork. Okay? Like, that was just the most absurd shit I ever heard in my life. And I want to call him on it, but you know, what's the point? What's the point of calling in this show? You calling in this show and then you disagree with him about something, he'll always have the upper hand because he has the mute button, and you know, he'll cut you off with the sir stuff, and so it's really counterproductive. Anyway, much love to you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I will holler at y'all again, possibly Tuesday, depending on how early I get up, because I have to go. I still got some work to do at this woman's house. So if I get up early enough, I can knock out my ruck, and then I can go ahead and go to her house after that. I'm taking my son with me. I'm showing him some basics about electrical work, getting his letting him put his hands to use. You know what I'm saying? I took him with me last time. He did a great job. He helped me out. So I'm gonna take him again tomorrow, and I might you know, show you guys a video of my son working on some stuff with me. And you know, just we really need to start, you know, using our hands again, man. We need to start teaching our children how to use their hands and be little mechanics. You know what I mean? Put their mechanical reasoning to use. You know, really test them on that, because you never know when you're going to need that. It's a great trade. The electrical trade has treated me great. I'm about done with it. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done with that and just do what I want to do for the rest of my life. But, you know, I'll always have that skill. I'll always have the ability to make money doing that. So, you know, hey, I'm happy. Hey, the electrical trade is treating me right. So, you say you too? You're an electrician. I am the American. Yeah, man, the electrical trade is treating me great. You know, so I'm always going to be able to do that. Anyway, much love to you guys. Peace out. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, thanks. I'm the American. You're a good dude, bro. No, them brother. No, they don't bother me. You know what bothers me? It bothers me that these people have such a huge audience that they can they influence so many people. They have such a huge voice. I mean, millions of subscribers amongst them, and they're just spewing nonsense. They're not spitting freedom, right? They're not pushing the message of freedom to the people in their audience. They're pushing the message of, oh, you better comply. Oh, the police can do no wrong. Oh, there's no such thing as police brutality and this, that, and the third. The police are always right. Or if you're against the police, you're against Americanism and all this other shit. Oh, you're not a true American. Oh, your rights. The laws supersede your rights. And all. It's just they continue to spew this nonsense, and we'll never get free that way. So I will continue. As small as my platform is, as small as my channel is, I will continue to be on their heads. Because guess what? I'm not the only one, right? Myself, the amazing Lucas, and Brian from High Impact Flicks, we're going to go on a panel, and we're going to talk about all of that. We're really going to tackle that. We're going to tackle that in particular, right? We're going to tackle that because, you know, we need to get as many people on the side of freedom as possible. So we're going to do that soon. I'll let you guys know when that's going to happen. I'm also going to do get on the panel with Black Spring with Autumn. She has a lot of good information. I'll do that with her. Yeah, I'm ready to start spreading this freedom train. We're gonna take this freedom train all the way to the station and beyond, man. And so, I want to reach as many people as possible. I want to dip into these people's audiences to spread freedom, and that's it. I don't even need them to be my subscribers. I don't need them to follow me, nothing like that. All I need to do is plant that seed of freedom in their minds, so that when these people start talking to them again, give them a different angle, give them a different perspective, give them a different perspective that they can look from and say, wow, ABL, Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, they're always pushing this police state bullshit. They're true statists, and this goes against my freedoms. I wonder if I need to continue to support them, or should we say, look, what you're saying is nonsense. These people need to be called on their BS. Real shit, by people that have sense, that are freedom minded. So anyway, that's my goal, guys. Thanks, I'm the American. I appreciate that. I felt the bro, I'm attacked around the clock with racist trash comments. Man, that sucks, dude. Anyway, peace out. I gotta get my kids. Much love to you guys. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.